With that being said, I'd like to turn it over to Amy, who has a fun fact for us about the mitochondria.
Yeah, it's actually a very important thing to understand about mitochondria, which is the fact that they're derived, and this has been worked out over the course of many different studies. Our human mitochondria are actually derived from bacteria. So millions of years ago, what seems to have happened, and this was worked out by several evolutionary biologists and people over time, is that our human or other eukaryotic organisms that have sort of our human types of cells were infected by bacteria. And key to what a lot of bacteria do is that they infect the cells directly and get directly inside them. That's when they're called an intracellular organism, an intracellular bacteria. So once they've gotten inside that cell, now they are in the atmosphere of what the cell uses to do all the different things that it's going to do. So back in the day, millions of years ago, there was a type of bacteria called alpha proteobacteria. And it was actually very, very efficient at converting oxygen into energy. And so it seems like those bacteria infected human type cells. And once they got inside, they were so good at this energy production that the human cells held on to them. And they developed what's called a symbiotic relationship. In other words, the human cell benefited from the bacteria's ability to produce energy, and the bacteria benefited from having a home that was a little safer inside the human cell. And so they formed this symbiotic relationship. And over time, as evolution went on, basically the bacteria became more and more part of the human cell and more controlled by our human genes. And that's what mitochondria are today. So essentially, what our mitochondria are energy producers derived from bacteria that were captured by our cells over millions of years, which is really important in how they function. We can get to that later, but mitochondria are key to how the immune system targets infection. Infections directly hijack how our mitochondria function. And then our mitochondria are part of the innate immune response that responds directly to infection. A lot of this has to do with the fact that they have such close ties to bacteria to begin with.
Yes. So thank you, Amy.